Good morning, everybody. We are here talking about circular economy today, circular economy in sustainable tourism. No? This one maybe? Yes. Okay. That both. Okay, good morning, everybody. We are here today to talk about circular economy in sustainable tourism, and I'm here just to introduce David Mora, the expert that in this month has worked with the project of the Sustainable Tourism Mission, focusing on circular economy topic. David Mora is a strategic consultant in the tourism sector and partner of Verne Tourism Expert, and has done a great work with the project in this month. So I leave you to showcase and introduce the thematic paper. After his introduction, there will be, in fact, a roundtable with moderated by Pau Pitart and with the project that have participated in this work. Thank you.
Thank you, Emilia. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for attending this first session after the opening. Let's see if the clicker works. So I think it's great that we have this panel, so me or us, with the introduction, with the thematic paper, and then afterwards the showcasing of the 5 projects, which I think are amazing, and especially having the moderation by Pau, who started the project actually with the pre-work, let's say, to set the floor. And especially talking about circular economy and tourism, which we are really convinced of, because it's like very practical. Sometimes when we talk about sustainability, it's kind of ambiguous, and circular economy is very specific. And I think that has a high potential for transferability to the tourism industry. What I'm going to talk about today, first the challenge, which is huge. Of course, it's a humongous challenge for the tourism industry in the Mediterranean area, the relevance for the Med context, and finally the cluster approach with the 5 projects, which I'm going to briefly introduce, since you're going to have a full display of them afterwards. Brief note on methodology, since we also have kind of an academic background, we have to also say that we work with 2 scholars from Universidad de Alicante, which also helped us a lot with the review of bibliography, secondary documentation. We also had one focus group with some of the stakeholders of the cluster, which was really interesting to narrow a bit, to restrain the scope of the project. We also had a few in-depth interviews, obviously via Zoom and Teams, as the name of the game. And also we used a lot our previous experience here in Spain with Segitur, which is a national state-funded institution that has been working in implementation of circular economy for SMEs and destinations already since 2018. So that was a kind of the bedrock of this project, and really useful, since they have already working with destinations and SMEs on the ground. The challenge, of course, as we have been speaking yesterday and today, I think is going to be the same. Huge challenge for the Mediterranean area, and also for SMEs. At least here in Spain, 96% of the, let's say, tourist fabric is composed by SMEs, so they are the ones we have to work with in order to transfer the solutions that you have been working on these years, and also taking into consideration the different barriers that SMEs face. First, that they have to understand what circular economy is. We have talked too much, maybe too much about sustainability. So sometimes they have kind of a confusion. What's circular economy? Is it part of the sustainability? Is it different? So that sometimes difficult to communicate with them. Also financial constraints, of course, and operational limitations, especially during high season. They just have to work. But the challenge remains there. First, how can destinations provide these practical tools for micro and mid-sized enterprises, and also how can these cluster project solutions be transferred to daily operations? Those were the 2 challenges that were, let's say, the basics and the fundamentals for our work. After the first focus group that we did online with you guys, thank you all very much for all of you who participated. We came down to, or we narrowed it to these 4 areas of intervention: water and energy, waste prevention, food systems, and people and digital. Those were the 4 elements in which we tried to delve into and go deeper. And those are more showcased or displayed in the paper. Also, we analyzed the current resources for the application of circular economy in the tourism industry, which we would say that we are in a positive environment. There has been a lot of funds running to the tourism industry in these last years, and also at national levels. And I don't want to focus too much in Spain, but we have had a lot of funding for the implementation of circular economy based projects until June 30th, which is deadline for the execution of these projects. I'm not going to go very much into detail because now you're going to have the representatives from these 5 projects. You have methodologies, you have diagnosed tools, you have different protocols, how to set objectives, how to define blue economy action plans. So the 5 projects that are going to be showcased afterwards, of course, all of them have their own websites. I suggest you do go visit them because they are state of the art regarding what they have done, what they are doing, because some of them are still undergoing, they're still in progress. So I urge you to go visit the websites, and also they have really short videos which they have explained what they have been doing. So kudos, congrats to all of you who have been working in these 5 projects. Loop Zone regarding reduction of plastic destinations, and what I mentioned before, the blue tourism, which is also a key topic currently in the tourism industry when it comes to tourism in watery destinations. And we have also included in this document some other interesting or good practices at different levels, examples that we have both recollected for this project and some others that we knew from before. Example given, FinHaba. This is an interesting platform on Mallorca Island, which has been working already for a few years with the big hotels on the island to collect food waste and then transform that into compost and then bring it down to farmers. So kind of closing the loop, especially at a destination of the size of Mallorca that generates tons of food waste every day. Also here in the Mediterranean area, in Barcelona and some other destinations here in Spain, the plastic busters at small bars, what we call here in Spain chiringuitos, which are the bars that you can find the coastline. So trying to help them to use as few plastic glasses as possible. This project also had different phases. Also, a very interesting example that we saw in Tunisia. This is a company that has been researching and innovating in this element, this device that is called Cumulus, that absorbs humidity and transforms that into water that can be used at hotels. Really, really useful. And also, of course, there are plenty of examples of restaurants. They are applying different schemes in order to reduce food waste. We picked this one in Portugal, trying to showcase a wider array of examples in different countries in the area of the Mediterranean. So plenty of examples that have been already included in the document. We also try to be as practical as possible, and we have included. This is just a sample. We included a grid with different ways in which SMEs can introduce or implement circular economy in the day-to-day operations. So in the document, you're going to find that grid with different practical examples for your companies. And well, finally, the conclusions. I think the key element here, of course, that SMEs cannot operate as like isolated elements, like islands at the destination level. So they have to be guided. They have to be led by destinations. Those destinations have to try to connect the dots and see the destination as a system. In the end, a destination is a system that collects resources, transforms that, and then that turns into a waste. So they have to analyze that process of resources going in and going on, and try to reuse resources again when they turn into waste, again into a new resource for the following cycle. So try to connect the dots at the destination level. Put the SMEs at the center, because they are the basics of the tourism industry. You have to help them because sometimes they do not have the time, they do not have the economic resources, or they don't have the human resources to start with circular economy. But we have been working with many companies, especially in Spain, and when they see the potential, when they see the use of circular economy practice, they really try to make an effort to incorporate them in the day-to-day operations. And then also take into consideration that we are working with human beings, and not just human resources, or the employees of our companies, but also the clients. We have to, let's say, educate them. We have to communicate with our clients, try to convey the message of the importance of circular economy and how they can be a part of that change. Of course, I'm not going to talk about regeneration, which is, I think, not that easy to attain, but at least educate clients so that they also transform the behavior. So finally, that collaboration at destination level for destinations, I think, is key to create kind of a task force, like a group that try to first develop an action plan for circularity at the destination level, then connect the dots, look for the funding, look for the financial resources, and try to engage all the different elements, mainly SMEs, to kickstart the project of implementation of circular economy at destination level. So these are main conclusions of this work. I have to thank once again all the different persons, different stakeholders that participated through the focus groups and the interviews. And of course, you can download the document if you scan that QR code, or go to the website of the cluster. It is available for you all to download. And yeah, that was a great pleasure for us to work with you all, and thank you very much for your time.